My cousin's wife tried to have my daughter taken away from me last month, not because Emma was in danger, not because I was a bad mother, but because I embarrassed her at her wedding reception by letting my 9-year-old speak her truth. Now she's the one losing her marriage, her reputation, and her standing in our family. And honestly, I'm not sorry. Let me back up. I'm Melissa, 34, single mom to the most incredible kid you'll ever meet. Emma has moderate autism, sensory processing disorder, and the kind of pure heart that makes me believe in actual goodness. She's verbal, but struggles with social cues. She stims when she's happy, hand flapping, spinning, humming. She has meltdowns when overwhelmed. She needs routine, structure, visual schedules, and a mom who actually understands her. That mom is me. My cousin Erin has always been the golden child of our family. Successful, charming, married to Kelsey, a woman who looks like she stepped out of a lifestyle blog. They got married last year in this over-the-top ceremony that probably cost more than my car. I was genuinely happy for them. Erin and I grew up close. He was one of the few family members who never treated Emma like she was broken, or so I thought. The wedding invitation came in March, addressed just to me. No and guest. No mention of Emma. I called Erin immediately. Hey, so I got the invitation. I'm assuming Emma's invited too, right? It just had my name. There was a pause, a long one. Mel, about that. Kelsey and I talked and we're doing an adults-only thing. You know, sophisticated vibe, no kids. My stomach dropped. Your flower girl is 6 years old, Erin. That's different. She's in the wedding party. So it's not adults only, it's Emma only. Another pause. Look, Kelsey just thinks it'll be easier if Emma isn't there. You know how she can get sometimes. We don't want any disruptions. I felt like I'd been slapped. Disruptions. You mean my daughter existing near you might ruin your aesthetic? Don't twist this. I'm not twisting anything. You're telling me my kid isn't welcome because she's autistic. That's what you're saying. Melissa, come on. I hung up. I didn't cry until later that night after Emma was asleep. I sat in her doorway watching her breathe, her weighted blanket pulled up to her chin, her favorite bunny clutched in one hand. She'd been so excited when I told her about the wedding. She'd even asked if she could wear her fancy blue dress with the sparkles. And now I had to tell her she wasn't wanted. But here's the thing about being a single mom to a special needs kid. You develop armor. Thick, impenetrable armor. Because if you don't, the casual cruelties of the world will break you. So I made a decision that night. I'd go to the wedding. I'd smile. I'd be gracious. And I'd make sure Erin and Kelsey understood exactly what they'd done. The weeks leading up to the wedding were tense. My mom called 3 times trying to smooth things over, explaining that Kelsey was stressed and just wanted everything perfect. My Aunt Linda, Erin's mom, sent me a long text about how we all need to support Erin and Kelsey on their special day. No one mentioned supporting Emma or me. I didn't argue. I just said I'd be there. Emma asked about the wedding twice. Both times I told her it was just for grown-ups and that she'd get to have a special day with her best friend Hannah instead. She seemed disappointed but accepted it. That hurt more than anything, that she was so used to being excluded that this barely registered as unusual. The night before the wedding, I did something I don't usually do. I recorded Emma during our bedtime routine. Hey, Emma Bear, can you tell me something? What, Mama? What do you think about cousin Erin getting married? Her whole face lit up. I think it's really, really good. Weddings are when people promise to love each other forever, right? That's exactly right, baby. I hope Erin's really happy. He's always nice to me. He doesn't do the voice. The voice? The voice some people do. Like, I'm a baby. Erin talks to me like I'm regular. My throat tightened. You are regular, sweetheart. I know. But some people forget. She paused, playing with her bunny's ear. Can I tell Erin congratulations even if I can't go to the wedding? Of course you can, babe. Okay. Dear Erin, congratulations on getting married. I'm really happy you found someone to love. I hope you have a beautiful day and that the cake is good and nobody trips when they walk. Love, Emma. She grinned at me. Was that good? I kissed her forehead, my phone still recording. It was perfect. The wedding was exactly as over the top as I expected. A converted barn venue with string lights and mason jars and that carefully cultivated rustic elegance that costs a fortune to achieve. I wore a simple navy dress, did my makeup, smiled at relatives I barely recognized. Kelsey looked stunning. I'll give her that. Her dress probably cost more than 3 months of Emma's therapy. Erin looked nervous but happy. For a moment, watching them exchange vows, I felt genuinely moved. They looked like they loved each other. Then I noticed the kids, not just the flower girl. There were at least 6 children running around the reception, a toddler banging on a high chair, 2 boys playing tag near the gift table, a baby crying in the corner. It wasn't adults only. It was just Emma only. I ordered a vodka soda and drank it too fast. The reception started with dinner, then speeches. Erin's best man told some story about Vegas. Kelsey's maid of honor cried through hers. Then Erin stood up, tapping his glass. I just want to thank everyone for being here. Family means everything to me, and having you all here to celebrate this day means the world. Family means everything. The words echoed in my head as I looked around at all those kids, the ones who were apparently worthy of inclusion, the ones who didn't stim or melt down or need visual schedules. Something in me snapped. I stood up, glass in hand. Erin looked surprised but gestured for me to go ahead. I want to say something too, I said, my voice steady. The room quieted. Erin, I've known you my whole life. You've always been kind, thoughtful, girl, someone who makes people feel seen. So I was really touched when you invited me here today. I paused, reaching for my phone. My daughter Emma couldn't be here tonight, but she wanted me to share something with you. I saw Kelsey's face change, saw her lean toward Aaron, whispering urgently, but I was already pressing play. Emma's sweet voice filled the room through the venue's sound system. Dear Aaron, congratulations on getting married. I'm really happy you found someone to love. I hope you have a beautiful day and that the cake is good and nobody trips when they walk. Love, Emma. The room was silent for a beat. Then I heard it. Someone sniffling. My aunt crying. A few people clapping softly. I looked directly at Kelsey. My daughter wanted to be here today, but she wasn't invited. Not because it was adults only. I gestured around at the children, but because she's autistic. Because she might disrupt things. Kelsey's face went white, then red. So I just wanted to say thank you for clarifying for all of us what kind of family this is. The kind that includes some kids but not others. The kind that values appearance over kindness. I raised my glass. To the happy couple, I drank, set my glass down, and walked out. I made it to my car before I started shaking. Not from fear or regret, from pure adrenaline. I'd actually done it. I'd said what needed to be said, publicly, irreversibly. My phone started buzzing before I even left the parking lot. First was my mom. Melissa, what were you thinking? Then Aunt Linda, you ruined their wedding. Then a number I didn't recognize. You're a selfish bitch. I blocked that one, but there were other messages too. From my cousin Rachel, holy hell, I had no idea about Emma. That was brutal and perfect. From Aaron's college friend Mike, your daughter sounds awesome. Sorry she wasn't there. From 3 different relatives I barely knew, all saying some version of, good for you. I drove home and paid the babysitter. Emma was already asleep. I checked on her, still peaceful, still innocent, still unaware of the bomb I just dropped on our family. I slept 4 hours and spent half the night scrolling through increasingly unhinged messages. Kelsey had apparently been crying in the bathroom. Aaron was devastated. The reception ended early. Good. I woke up Sunday expecting the anger to have cooled overnight. Maybe Aaron would call. We'd talk it out. Things would settle. Instead, at 9:47 a.m., there was a knock at my door. It wasn't Aaron. It was a woman in a blazer holding a clipboard. Melissa Torres? Yes? I'm Amanda Chen with Child Protective Services. We received a report about unsafe living conditions for your daughter. May I come in? My blood went cold. What report? I'm not at liberty to say, but I need to inspect your home and speak with your child. I let her in because what choice did I have? She walked through my house with dead eyes, marking things on her clipboard. Emma's sensory corner with the crash pad and weighted blankets? Marked. The locks on the kitchen cabinets to keep her from getting hurt? Marked. Her bed on the floor because she rolls off regular beds during sleep? Marked. My daughter is autistic, I explained, following her around. These are all recommended accommodations from her occupational therapist. I have documentation. I'll need copies of all medical records, Amanda said flatly. Emma woke up during the inspection, confused and scared. Mama, who is she? Just someone from work, baby. It's okay, but it wasn't okay. Amanda asked Emma questions about her room, her routines, whether mommy ever got angry. Emma answered in her honest, literal way, not understanding the subtext. Sometimes mama yells when I don't listen, but then she hugs me and we talk about feelings. Amanda wrote that down. After 45 minutes, Amanda finally left, telling me someone would be in touch. The second the door closed, I called my mom. CPS just showed up at my house. Silence. Then, oh, Melissa. It was Kelsey, wasn't it? She reported me. I don't know. Mom, it was 24 hours after the wedding. What else could it be? More silence. I'll call around, see what I can find out. I hung up and immediately started taking pictures. Emma's therapy schedule on the fridge, her medications, all clearly labeled, her visual schedule board, her communication cards, her weighted vest. Everything that proved I wasn't neglecting her. I was caring for her exactly as experts recommended. Then I called Emma's developmental pediatrician, Dr. Sarah Kim. Dr. Kim, I need help. CPS came to my house because someone reported me, and I think they're trying to take Emma. Her response was immediate and fierce. Over my dead body. The next 72 hours were a blur of phone calls, paperwork, and panic. Dr. Kim wrote a 5-page letter detailing every accommodation in our home and why each was medically necessary. Emma's occupational therapist did the same. Her teacher, Ms. Rodriguez, submitted a statement about Emma's progress and my involvement in her education. I hired a lawyer named Patricia Okonkwo who specialized in disability rights cases. She was expensive, money I didn't have, but my mom helped. I should have stood up for Emma at that wedding, Mom said when she handed me a check. I'm standing up now. The emergency hearing was set for Thursday. 3 days of hell wondering if they'd take my daughter from me because Kelsey wanted revenge for being embarrassed. I couldn't eat, could barely sleep. Every time I looked at Emma, playing with her sensory bin, watching her favorite show, asking me to read the same book for the 100th time, I felt sick thinking about her being taken away. On Wednesday night, I got a text from an unknown number. This is Aaron. We need to talk. Can you call me? I stared at that message for a long time before calling. Melissa. His voice was strained. I need to tell you something. If this is about the CPS report, Kelsey made the call. I heard her on the phone the night of the wedding. She was furious about what you said, and she told them you were endangering Emma. My hands tightened on the phone. So you're calling to confess? Little late for that. I'm calling because I'm leaving her. That stopped me. What? I told her I wanted proof she made the call. She admitted it, said you deserved it for humiliating her. His voice cracked. Melissa, I didn't know she'd do this. I swear I didn't know. But you knew she didn't want Emma at the wedding. You went along with that. I know. And I was wrong. I've been wrong about a lot of things. He paused. I'm testifying at your hearing. I'm going to tell them exactly what Kelsey did and why. Aaron, it's too late for us, for me and Kelsey. But it's not too late to make sure Emma stays with you where she belongs. The courtroom was smaller than I expected, less dramatic. Just a judge, a CPS attorney, my lawyer Patricia, and a handful of witnesses. Kelsey wasn't there. Smart of her. The CPS attorney presented their case first. Photos of Emma's room, statements about the concerning accommodations, Amanda's notes about Emma saying I sometimes yelled. Patricia demolished them methodically. She presented Dr. Kim's letter, the OT reports, Emma's IEP from school. She called Dr. Kim to testify via video. Everything in Ms. Torres's home is not only appropriate, but exemplary, Dr. Kim said firmly. I have patients whose parents refuse to make these accommodations. Emma is thriving because her mother understands her needs. Then Patricia called Aaron. He looked terrible, like he hadn't slept in days, but his testimony was clear. My wife, Kelsey Martinez, made the CPS report as retaliation. I heard her on the phone the night of our wedding. She was angry that Melissa played a recording from Emma at the reception. The judge looked up from his notes. And why was the child not present at the wedding? Aaron's face flushed. Because my wife didn't want her there. She said Emma's autism would be disruptive, but other children attended? Yes, Your Honor. So this was specifically about excluding one disabled child. Yes. The judge made a note. Patricia smiled slightly. The CPS attorney tried to recover. Regardless of motivation, the initial report contained legitimate concerns, which have all been thoroughly explained and supported by medical professionals. Patricia interrupted. Your Honor, this entire case is built on a false report made in bad faith by someone with a personal vendetta against my client. There is zero evidence of neglect or abuse. The judge reviewed the documents in front of him. The room was silent except for the sound of papers shuffling. Finally, he looked up. I'm dismissing this case. Ms. Torres, your daughter will remain in your custody. There is no evidence whatsoever of neglect or endangerment. He turned to the CPS attorney. I'm troubled that a report this spurious resulted in removal proceedings. I'm recommending an investigation into how this was handled. I almost collapsed with relief. Patricia squeezed my shoulder. The judge wasn't finished. I'm also issuing a restraining order against Kelsey Martinez. She is not to contact Ms. Torres or her daughter for any reason. We left the courthouse, and I immediately called Mom. We won. Emma's safe. Thank God. She was crying. Melissa, the whole family knows what Kelsey did. Linda called me this morning. She's horrified. Good. Aaron's filing for divorce. I know. And Kelsey's been fired from her job. Apparently, someone sent her boss information about the false CPS report. I hadn't done that, but I also wasn't sad about it. Emma came home from her friend's house that afternoon with no idea how close we'd come to being separated. I held her tighter than usual during our bedtime routine. You're squeezing really hard, Mama. Sorry, baby. Just love you a lot. I love you too. Can we read about the caterpillar again? As many times as you want. Over the next week, something unexpected happened. The family rallied, not around Kelsey, but around us. Aunt Linda called to apologize. Uncle James invited Emma to his lake house. My cousin Rachel started learning about autism and asking genuine questions. I didn't understand before, Rachel admitted over coffee. I just thought Emma was different. I didn't get that she needs different things, not fewer things. Even distant relatives started reaching out. It was like Kelsey's cruelty had shocked everyone into realizing they'd been complicit in Emma's exclusion. The following month, we had a family barbecue. I almost didn't go, but Emma wanted to see her cousins. When we arrived, Emma hesitated at the gate, holding my hand tight. It's okay, baby. Everyone's excited to see you. And they were. Rachel's kids asked Emma to show them her rock collection. Aunt Linda had made Emma's favorite foods. Uncle James gave her a fishing pole for next time. At one point, I caught Aaron watching us from across the yard. He looked hollowed out, older. When our eyes met, he mouthed, I'm sorry. I nodded. It wasn't forgiveness. Not yet, but it was acknowledgement. Kelsey wasn't there, obviously. The restraining order ensured that. But I heard through the family grapevine that she'd moved back to her hometown, that the divorce was ugly, that she'd become a cautionary tale. Don't be like Kelsey, people said. She tried to destroy a child out of spite. I wish I could say I felt sorry for her. I don't. 3 months after the hearing, I got a letter in the mail. It was from Kelsey, addressed to both Emma and me. Patricia advised me not to read it. It violated the restraining order, but curiosity won. Dear Melissa and Emma, I don't expect forgiveness. I don't deserve it. What I did was unforgivable. Trying to use the system meant to protect children as a weapon because my pride was hurt. I've spent these months in therapy, trying to understand why I was so threatened by a 9-year-old girl. The truth is, Emma represented everything I couldn't control. I wanted a perfect wedding, a perfect life, a perfect family, and Emma didn't fit that fantasy. I was wrong. She wasn't the problem. I was. I destroyed my own marriage, my own reputation, my own life. Not because you humiliated me at my wedding, but because I couldn't accept that different doesn't mean less. I hope Emma never knows what I tried to do to her. I hope she grows up surrounded by people who see her value. I hope you can both move forward without the weight of what I did. I'm sorry doesn't cover it, but I'm sorry anyway. Kelsey. I read it 3 times. Then I put it in a folder with all the other documents from the case and filed it away. Emma called from her room. Mama, can we go to the park? Absolutely, baby. Get your shoes. She bounded out, already humming her favorite song, completely unaware of the letter or what it meant. That was how it should be. She didn't need to carry that burden. As we walked to the park, Emma's hand in mine, I thought about revenge, about how I'd wanted Kelsey to suffer the way she'd made us suffer. And she had. She'd lost her marriage, her job, her place in the family. But here's what I realized. That wasn't the real revenge. The real revenge was this. Emma, happy and safe and loved, skipping beside me in the sunshine. Emma, growing up knowing that when someone tried to take her away, I fought like hell to keep her. Emma, surrounded by family who finally understood that she belonged. The real revenge was proving that love is stronger than cruelty, that truth outlasts lies, and that my daughter, autistic, stimming, beautiful, perfect my daughter, was never going to be hidden or excluded or diminished again. Not by Kelsey, not by anyone. At the park, Emma climbed to the top of the jungle gym and yelled down to me, "Mama, look, I'm so high. I see you, baby. You're doing amazing." She beamed, arms spread wide like she could fly. And watching her up there, fearless and free, I realized something else. I didn't win because I destroyed Kelsey. I won because I saved Emma. And that, more than anything else, is what matters. Sometimes people ask me if I regret playing that recording at the wedding. If I think I went too far, I don't. Because that recording, Emma's sweet, innocent voice wishing Aaron happiness, exposed the truth. It showed everyone exactly what kind of child they'd been excluding. Not a burden, not a problem, just a little girl who wanted to celebrate her cousin's wedding. Elsie tried to punish me for revealing that truth. She tried to use the system against us, to take the thing I loved most as payment for her embarrassment. She failed. And now, when Emma asks about family parties or weddings or gatherings, I can honestly say, yes, baby, you're always invited. You always belong. That's the ending Kelsey didn't expect. That's the ending we deserved.